Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Market Today on Business Today Television. Let's start with a very quick view of how the broader markets are shaping up. Remember, today it's the weekly expiry for the Nifty, and we'll see a lot of movements happening as far as the index is concerned. At the moment, flat, nothing much happening on a Friday ahead of the festivities. So the Nifty at about 19,413, flat at the moment, no change at all, and the Nifty Bank trading at about 0.3% higher, 127.30. As far as broader markets are concerned, the advance decline ratio is also flat at the moment, 1:1. About 1,056 stocks gaining ground on the National Stock Exchange compared with 968 that are in the red. Let's just do a very quick look at how stocks are positioned within the Nifty. The top gainers include an odd set of stocks. NTPC 1.2% higher to 43. Tata Consumer showing a 1% rise, 917.75. ONGC and Tech Mahindra up about a percent each. And this is how the top gainers are looking at. Pretty much nothing much to talk about, simply because we are a day ahead of festivities and it's the weekend. Nobody wants to extend gains at this point of time. On the losers side are auto stocks. M&M down 1.5%, about 15.25. Hero Motors slipping 2% lower, 31.22. Titan and HCL Tech showing 1% decline each. We are joined by Vinay Rajani, Senior Technical Analyst at HDFC Securities. Vinay, welcome to the show. How are you seeing the markets for the next week? Because this week we saw festivities ruling the roost, the Nifty and the Bank Nifty up about 1% each, gaining for the second week in a row. How does the next week look?
Yeah, good afternoon, Shailendra, and happy Diwali to all of you in advance. Happy dhanteras to all of you. Yeah, so basically, market is right now in the range of 19,300 to 19,500. Today's low is 19,329. On 7th November, also, we saw that Nifty took support at 19,329. So there is a double bottom formation at 19,329, which can act as a strong support. On the higher side, we see 50 days exponential moving average is placed at 19,450, and there is some trendline resistance which gives the resistance around 19,500. So basically we are into range. If we were to see a close above 19,500, then we can expect some bullish momentum to come. But as of now, stock specific bullishness is there. Mid cap small cap indices are doing exceptionally well. In fact, small cap index, Nifty small cap index is trading at its all-time high. So a broader market is quite strong, and that gives the confidence that overall index will surpass the resistance rather than breaking the support. So overall optimistic view is there, but index wise we may consolidate in the 19,300 to 19,500 range in next couple of sessions.
Fair point, and we've already seen a very sharp rally coming on the Nifty over the last 10 trading sessions, from a low of 18,850 to about 19,450. That rally itself is worth about 600 points. The market needs time to digest this. Vinayji, how else are you watching index components within the Nifty? What, according to you, is the strongest stock on technical charts?
Yeah, so basically there are some stocks which are actually looking oversold on the Nifty. So some pharma stocks are doing well. The private banking stocks like Axis Bank can perform well. Some of the NBFC space like Bajaj Finserv and Bajaj Finance today has recovered. So and already we have seen a good rise in OMC stocks like BPCL and HPCL. So participation is there. The stocks which have fallen now they are recovering and they have started recovering. But if we were to talk about only one stock which is looking and continuously performing well is the Axis Bank, which is trading around its 52-week high and looking strong. And apart from that, the real estate stocks are looking very strong. So real estate, private sector bank like Axis Bank are looking good, and they are likely to participate in the coming days.
Okay. Axis Bank, of course, yes, the company came out with a fantastic second quarter set of earnings, and after that the stock is sort of consolidating in its record high territory. It's been an outperformer on the index, the banking index, for quite a while. Let me just share some interesting statistics with you as far as Axis Bank is concerned. For the month which is November so far, Axis Bank is up about 5.3%, and I'll also show you some data on Axis Bank when it comes to the annual performance. It's been one of those very bullish stocks, as Mr. Rajani very rightly points out, and any dips here should be an opportunity to get back into a counter which is doing phenomenally well in terms of price and in terms of business as well. So as far as Axis is concerned, on a year to date basis, on a 1 year basis, it's up 21% within the large cap universe of banking stocks. What also draws to a close, Mr. Jani, is the festive season. We've seen a very sharp run up across the board in small caps, mid caps, large caps. You've talked about the small cap and the mid cap indices trading at record highs. When you look at next Samvat and you analyze charts over the weekend, any mid caps or small caps that catch your fancy on the long side?
Yeah, so definitely the mid-cap stocks like JK Lakshmi Cement, some railway stocks like Railtel, and some stocks still from the defense and shipping stocks like Cochin Shipyard is looking good. So these kind of stocks one can look at it. We are bullish on infrastructure stocks and railway. Also from railway, I like Railtel. From cement space, we have seen a good results coming in from JK Lakshmi Cement, which is looking strong on the technicals also. So JK Lakshmi Cement and PSU banking stocks are also expected to do well, out of which we like Canara Bank a lot. So there are some sectors which are likely to outperform till next somewhat, and PSU Bank, some cement stocks, some railway stocks, and some infrastructure stocks are expected to do well in the coming next couple of months.
Okay, JK Lakshmi is a stock that we've discussed very often on Business Today television. One of the very bullish analysts on that has been Gaurang Shah. From 620, 630, 640 levels, he's been advising to buy piecemeal. And as Vinay very recently points out, the earnings have been fantastic. They came about 4 or 5 days ago, and that's sort of resulted in a very sharp uptick on JK Lakshmi. Canara Bank, yes, again earnings driven. You are seeing a 6 year high on Canara Bank. Last time you saw these numbers were in November of 2017, and you'd like to see a fresh move coming on Canara Bank at this level. Vinay, when you look at auto plays, they've been one of the best performers in a year-to-date basis. Within the F&O space, we've seen Tata Motors, Maruti at record highs, and when you look at the 1 year performance, Escorts is up 55%, Tata Motors 57%, TVS Motors 46%. Given the run up that we've already seen in the auto space, is there anything that you find attractively priced on charts?
Yeah, so basically, if you were to go by the two-wheeler space, the chart of TVS Motor as well as Bajaj Auto looks extremely good. On charts, Maruti, Escorts as well as Tata Motors are still holding their uptrend. So primary trend is still up for all the stocks. Very few stocks are there which are underperforming. So most of them are trading around their 52-week highs. But strongest among the pack is the TVS Motor, which has recently registered a new 52-week high, and followed by the stock like Escorts. Escort is also looking extremely strong on the chart, so Escort can do well, followed by the Maruti. So I would give priority to the TVS Motor first, followed by Escort, and then Maruti.
Yes, and this has been borne out by fundamentals as well. Although not much of strength you could see in the performance of Escorts, but the chart has been fantastic. Like I had mentioned, 55% up in a year to date as far as Escorts is concerned, and Maruti, you are seeing it consolidate in fresh 5 digit spaces. The other thing that's interestingly happening today, or the last 1 week, is the strong rally in tire stocks, Vinayji. How do you see them? The reason why I ask is that there was a blowout performance by Apollo Tires, and it started performing extremely well on the charts at about 419 today. Anything else apart from Apollo Tires in the tire space which you feel remains underappreciated on charts?
Yeah, so basically, if we go by the chart, JK Tire is the stocks after Apollo Tire, which looks strongest amongst the pack, and it's a mid-cap stock. Apollo Tire is a bigger stock. So overall setup of JK Tire is good, and I think it posted a very good result also. And after that, we have seen follow-up buying coming in. Yeah, so JK Tire is my favorite stock from the this tire space because the crude has also started falling, and from the 97 dollar it has come around at 82 $81. So it is also positive for the tire companies. So overall, I like JK Tire after Apollo Tire.
Okay, and Mr. Rajani is absolutely right. The price that you see on JK tires is actually a record high, 356, and this was driven by this very sharp earnings number that you saw coming in on 1st of November. Profit was at 242 crores versus just 51 crores. This is, I'm talking about second quarter profit of JK tires on a year on year basis, and when you see at revenue, this was at 3,897 crores versus 3,757 crores. So a very sharp rise in top line, as well as nearly tripling of profit after tax in the second quarter, and it's been very well appreciated by the market. What you see is an intraday chart. If you see the long-term chart of JK Tire, you'll realize that the stock has moved from a point of 180 rupees somewhere in June to 357 now. This is a record high. Yes, this is the 1 year performance right in front of you, and Mr. Rajani feels that a lot more is left in that space. Vinay, should you have a medium term target for JK tires, what would that be?
Yeah, so as we discussed, JK Tire is trading at its all-time heights, so very difficult to come out with a target, but better to keep a trailing stop loss in this. That if you are a trader, then I think your stop loss should be at 330 odd levels. And if a stock is rising, then you should keep on trailing your stop loss. That's the best strategy for the trader. So I would suggest that it is at all-time high. Keep a stop loss on trailing basis, and if stock rises by 5%, you trail your stop loss by 5%. That is the best way to trade in this
Absolutely.
particular stock.
Yeah. Should you wish to remain, should you wish to join the momentum, which is a very dangerous thing to do, then you have to keep the stop loss fairly close to the subject in question. But if you are invested in JK tires and you have been enjoying this rally, remember this is not the time to exit the counter. Continue. This performance is most likely to remain in place as far as the fundamentals are concerned. Vinayji, one of these outstanding outperformers in the market this week was CDSL. We've seen 1770 on the charts. Although the stock is looking extremely overstretched, in fact, over the last 10 sessions, it's gained from 1250 to 1770. A very sharp run up even today. What are the medium term prospects of the chart for CDSL?
Yeah, so this stock has all, as you discussed, that has reached to the blue sky territory, and the previous all-time high was at 1687, which was made in December 2021, and it has surpassed that resistance. And after surpassing that, it has already shown 100 points further gain. So now the previous resistance will now act as a support. Now, so the previous resistance was 1687, the all-time high. The previous all-time high is now expected to act as a strong support. So if you are a trader, then you should keep a stop loss at 1680, let's say, and you can continue to hold on to the long position. And right now it is into a full momentum. Better not to catch we can say better not to anticipate a top. It is into a full momentum. It is rising with the volumes. So better not to anticipate any top. It is rising and participating in the market very well. So continue to hold on it, and 1680 is a stop loss for the traders. One can continue to hold on to the long positions.
Absolutely. Again, if you are a long-term fundamental holder in CDSL, please remain invested. This is probably the beginning of a second innings as far as this particular stock is concerned. Mr. Rajani very rightly pointed out that it's an all-time high on the counter. Remember, these previous prices, the prices that you see just now, were seen earlier in 2021 of December. So almost a 2 year high that has been taken out, and it comes on the back of a very stunning rally in its compatriot stock, the Bombay Stock Exchange. So there's a catch-up trade being played between BSE and CDSL, and this is something to hold on to for the longer term. Sadly, this is also not the time to enter the stock because it's really overheated. But should it cool down, this would be a very good stock to get back into as far as the long term is concerned. Of course, please do take another advice on the fundamental side when looking at CDSL. The other outperformance, Vinayji, this week was on Vedanta. Lots of pain getting reflected in stock prices over the last 2-3 months, and the rally this week has been fairly substantial. Friday's close is somewhere like 245, 246. Would you have a view in the coming week on Vedant?
Yeah, so today's movement is quite significant. It has surpassed its 200 days exponential moving average. It is already about 50 days EMA. So gradually it is surpassing all the resistance which were there previously. And now it is above 245, which is a very strong sign. So looking at this chart, I feel that it should continue to rise. And the next resistance I see for the counter is around 256, 257. So I think the support is now at 239 for the very short term traders. So keeping that stop loss in mind, one can expect a 10 to 15 rupees further rally in the stock like Vedanta.
Absolutely. This is, of course, an intraday chart in front of you. But if we are able to draw a daily chart, you'll see that the stock has appreciated sharply from 212. This price was there on 26th of October, and by 11th of November, we've seen a 30 rupee rally on this one, which translates to roughly 12-13% uptick. And the best is, according to Vinay, still in the pipeline. So Vedant is something that you can look at positionally. Of course, it's overheated today. Given the very nature of markets, Vinay, we have already talked about bullish stocks for the last 20-22 minutes. Is there something which is in pain on the charts where you want to see aggravated selling happening? Anything that catches your fancy on the bearish side?
So you mean to say the stock which is underperforming, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so stocks like Kotak Bank and Adani's of the
Yes.
group, all these stocks have not performed in this market, and they are quite looking oversold on the chart. So if I think they are oversold and they can participate in the coming days, because we are passing through the result season, and result season it might happen that many of the stocks makes the bottom and continue to rise. So private sector banks, there are many private sector banks and some Adani group stocks are looking oversold and they can participate in the coming days. In fact, Reliance Industry is also looking extremely oversold, so it can also participate in the coming time.
Yes, Kotak has been a long-term disappointment. Forget this week or this month, the stock has done pretty much nothing over the last 3-4 years, and it's lying quiet. A lot of multi-baggers do that, remain quiet for 3-4 years, and then in the next 1 year, they give you a return which is worth the previous 4-5 years. We don't know when the pain will end, but Kotak and HDFC Bank have been underperformers at least for the last 18 months as far as HDFC Bank is concerned, given the merger overtones on the counter, and Kotak, a pure disappointment coming in for long-term investing as far as this stock is concerned, but no doubt a multi-bagger over the longer term. 320, Vinayji, time to take a pause, but what would you do in terms of BTST or STBT when it comes to stock picking? Anything that catches your fancy for Monday?
Yeah, so for Monday, one can look at the PSU Bank stock like Canara Bank. For last many sessions, it has been consolidating in the range, and I feel PSU banking sector is looking very strong on positional charts. So Canara Bank can be bought at 386. Stop loss can be kept at 380, and on the upside, 395 is the target for the BTST. The another stock which I like technically, which is the JK Cement. It is part of derivative also and looking extremely strong on the charts. So JK Cement can be bought around 3460. Stop loss can be kept at 3400, and on the upside 3550 is the target for the BTST. So these are the stocks are which looks very strong to me.
Okay, let's look at the options chain for Canara Bank. This is something which is looking extremely good on the charts to me as well. The cash counter at the moment is somewhere like 395 if I'm not mistaken. Let's see the chart of Canara Bank. PCR will fire it in the moment, and at the moment the 390 395 call is something that we should be looking at. Just a moment please, we'll get the Canara Bank chart on the screen please, and let's see how it's positioned. Okay, 388, so it's the 390 call that should be active. Let's see the price of the 390 call for November 30th. 390 is at the moment trading at 8 rupees 85 paisa. Okay, let's make a chart, a 5-day chart of this particular call. Okay, we've seen prices of 12 earlier. So please, ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye out on the 390 call on Canara Bank. Can we please show it on the screen? Is it possible, PCR? If we can see the, yeah. Okay, 9 rupees. So this is a chart that this is a an option trade that you can look at. You can see the change in open interest on the negative side, and that means that there is some bit of short covering also happening on the counter. Let's just let me at my end look at this call for a moment, and let's look at Canara Bank. Here it is in front of me, and yes, let's see if there is at times the software really troubles you when you need it at the most critical time of the day. Just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. You see the stock in front of you? Yes. Okay. Yes, there is a lot of short covering that's happening in ITM calls 380, 385, which is a very good sign. Even in the 390 call, you are seeing a lot of bears running away from this particular counter, and this should be interesting. 9 rupees is what you have in front of you, and this is how the charts are structured. Vinay feels that you might see momentum in the stock, and that momentum can also be had with the option call which is there in front of you. That's the trade that is on the long side as far as FNO stocks are concerned. Anything, Vinayji, that catches your fancy in the large cap blue chip space, which you might see momentum coming in? Maybe M&M, maybe Coal India, maybe Hindalco. These are the stocks that announced their earnings this week.
Yeah, so NTPC looking good from the large cap space from the PSU segment, and it has been performing well, and it is on the verge of breaking out from the big range which is there for the last couple of months. So immediate resistance is at 245. Once for 245 is surpassed, then we can expect a good amount of momentum coming in the stock like NTPC. So NTPC is one of the stock which I like, and another one is the Axis Bank which we have already discussed. So Axis Bank is looking strong, so one can consider going long in that kind of stock. So Axis Bank and NTPC I like.
Okay, we'll draw the long-term chart of NTPC also in front of you. To my understanding, we are close to a breakout, 242. Yes, this is a very nice chart which has stepped out of consolidation today. Let's look at the NTPC 240 call. Just a moment, we'll try and fire that on screen. Let's look at what the price is for the NTPC 240, 245 call. Just a moment, please. Okay, 242 is 3.20 and 244 is 2.6. 3.20 looks pretty good. Lot of ITM shorts being covered within the call space, and of course it's a picture of positivity. So 242 call, as you can see, there's a positive change in open interest, there's a positive change in price, and there is a positive change coming in from Vinay as well as far as this particular trade is concerned. So 242 call on NTPC, 390 call on Canara Bank is what you should be looking at for Monday's trade, because the underlying sentiment on both these stocks is fairly positive. 326 at this point of time. Vinay, any closing thoughts for the Samvat that's gone? What were the learnings? What went wrong and what went right?
So basically, we have digested all the negatives and we have started outperforming the global markets, and we are ahead and we are marching towards the Lok Sabha election. So if we go by the history, we have seen that if you buy Nifty 6 months before the election results, you used to get the positive returns. The returns are varying between 10% to 30% positive side. So overall, there are good chances that we will turn out to be positive in next 6 months also, and we are still into continuation of an uptrend. No need to worry. We have digested bad news and we are into continuation of an uptrend. So very soon, after once Nifty crosses 19,500, we can expect Nifty to go beyond the previous all-time high, which is 20,200. So overall, I think one should remain optimistic and the downside is limited. And overall, the history suggests that seasonality chart suggests that one should continue to hold the long positions and investment positions in equity markets as far as Indian markets are concerned.
Okay, and Vinay joins us in sharing his good things that happened as far as this particular Samvat is concerned. Vinay, what are you looking forward to in the year ahead?
Yeah, so year ahead, one should look at the sectors. We have to be very selective in equity investment. So some sectors which we like is the infrastructure sector and the PSU banking sector, and some of the private sector banks which have actually come down drastically and not performed well. So we already shared our Diwali picks. Some of them are Dr. Reddy's, Reliance Industries, Gujarat Alkalis, Godrej Industries, and stock like IOC and GAIL. These are the new this Diwali picks from HDFC Securities, and we still believe that these stocks will give good returns to the investors, and one can continue to accumulate these stocks.
Okay. With this, ladies and gentlemen, we draw to a close on what has been a fantastic Samvat for all long-term holders of equity. We'll show you the year-to-year returns that have happened. The Nifty is now up 10%, which is absolutely in sync. I mean 10% year on year. If you see the same number last year, it was somewhere like 18,000, and you have 19,450 on the charts. Apart from that, there has been a fantastic rally in the mid cap and the large cap space, both of them at record highs even today. And stocks in the railway space, defense space, PSU banking space, and a whole host of infrastructure plays have given stellar 2x, 3x, 4x returns. If you look at Mazgaon, if you look at HAL, if you look at Bombay Stock Exchange, these are the counters that have given phenomenal return. And let's hope the powers that are and India's good luck continue to be with us over the next year as well as many, many years ahead. Vinayji, from all of us, festive greetings to you, your family, everybody at HDFC Securities, and all the customers who look at your technical calls to make supernormal money. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you. Same to you. Yeah.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we draw to a close on today's coverage of equity markets. Stocks have ended on a positive note as far as the Nifty is concerned, as also the Bank Nifty. Remember, we have Muhurat trading on Sunday, and please remain glued to us when it comes to all your requirements of financial news as well as intraday trades. Thank you for joining us, sir.
We're cutting across live to images that are coming in from New Delhi at the moment. Remember, this is the 5th edition of the India-US 2+2 dialogue. We're getting pictures to you live now from New Delhi. Both the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin III have arrived in India for these meetings that they're to have with their respective